What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Monday. Still trying to find the flow of the show, figuring out what I'm going to do. But today we have a new guest. This is an old friend of mine. This is Matt from Nerd of the Rings. He's got the biggest Lord of the Rings channel on YouTube. And we've actually been friends for a while. Let's get into it. So how you doing,
Yeah,
man? What's going on?
I'm doing good. How about you, man?
I'm doing good. I know that you also have a Star Wars channel that you've recently
I do.
created.
Yeah, we're on I'll say it's a bit of a sabbatical at the moment. But we are working on one to come out here in the next couple weeks. My buddy Keaton and we do that channel together, and he's kind of the Star Wars brains of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had some he's moved and had some job changes and stuff. So we kind of took a step back on that for a little bit, let him catch his breath. But yeah, we're looking to dive back into it. It's called the Nerd Strike Back.
Oh, cool.
If anybody's interested. So
You could do a Harry Potter one next, and then
oh man, I actually do have a surprising level of Harry Potter knowledge from listening to the audiobooks, because those are some really good audiobooks.
yeah.
And my
Yeah.
kids are big. My kids are big nerd. I've turned my kids into nerds basically, so they
Good,
like
as they
all the
should.
stuff. Yeah, exactly.
So, chat, the last time Matt and I talked, well, like really talked face to face, was I used to offer this thing on my Patreon where people would pay for like a few weeks or whatever it was, or a month,
Mhm.
and then they could talk about their channels, and I could help them in any way from
Yeah.
anything that I've learned and tell them about the mistakes I made. And it was was it like a few years ago? Like a year ago or
I think
whatever?
it was like
Just a year
2
ago.
years ago. Yeah,
Okay.
because I've been doing it for a little, like 3.5 years,
Yeah.
and so I think it was about 2 years ago or so.
And
Yeah.
so Matt signed up for that, and we were chatting, and he was telling me about his channel, and he like didn't know if he was going to go full time or not, or what he was going
Yeah,
to do. You still had your other job at the time,
I did. Yeah.
and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like he told me about like his analytics and everything. I'm like, dude, like you need to be. And he was only doing. I think you were doing like one video every 2 weeks or something like that.
I was one a week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they were like really nice, intricate,
Yeah.
detailed videos.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
we go to a lot of effort. Yeah, it's a lot about mapping characters' travels in Middle Earth.
yeah,
Obviously, like Theory said, it's the Lord of the Rings channel, and so
yeah,
there's a heavy use of maps and mapping out battles and stuff like that. So a lot of work
yeah.
goes into
And
it.
I remember,
Yeah.
you was just like. It was a no-brainer. I'm like, dude, go for it. And then now you're here you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So what's it been
Getting
like?
really close to 1 million actually. Just crossed 991,000 today.
Yeah.
So I've got like that watch on. I check it a couple times a day. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's getting close.
Dude, yeah, you're almost there. You're pretty much there.
Yeah.
Probably gonna break that in like a few weeks at most.
Yeah, I hope it'd be cool. Yeah, so like I think it was like a few months after we chatted that I knew like the writing was on the wall. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm just so, especially with having kids, having a family, like you're just very risk averse.
Yeah.
And so it took me a while to get to that point. It was basically to the point where you just look at it and realize, like, I could be spending so much more time with my family if I dropped this one whole job. Like, yeah, it's a little bit of a leap of faith a bit, but
Right.
yeah, it worked out, and things have been uh, doing well since. I can't say anything except that I'm hugely blessed to be able to talk about Lord of the Rings all day, every day, and
Right.
and do that as my job.
Yeah.
It's an amazing feeling, which you know all too well, I'm
Yeah, I
sure.
know all too well. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the new potential rumor is that Disney may eventually drop some Star Wars stuff and drop Marvel and stuff to Apple.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did hear that. Yeah. That
So
would be interesting.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I think that would probably be it could be amazing, could be that's like what if Lord of the Rings or whatever the rights to Lord of the Rings were
Mhm.
purchased by Apple? It's like I mean they could
Yeah.
literally buy pretty much all of the franchises now at this
I
point.
mean, I think Apple might have been in the bidding for the rights for TV rights with what became Rings of Power with Amazon.
Oh,
Um, and I saw someone in a video, they were doing a stream where they were talking about the difference between Disney and Apple, and like the amount of revenue is insane.
Yeah.
Like I never thought of it. You just look at these companies and you're like, oh, they're both just huge.
Yeah.
It's which they are. They're both huge, but
Yeah.
Apple is on a whole nother level of
Mhm.
huge. Like they could buy Star Wars without blinking.
Oh,
Like
yeah, it's
yeah,
like chump change to them.
yeah,
Really nothing.
it's wild to
They're
me.
worth a couple $1 trillion now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It would
Yeah.
it would be interesting though to see what they would do with a big IP like that. I don't know. Have they acquired any big
I don't know.
IPs?
I don't, not like in the movie world that I know of. I don't know, chat.
Yeah.
Like, you guys know they have Apple TV or whatever it is, but
Yeah.
like I don't
I
know
love
what.
Ted Lasso. That's a great show.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Oh, it's so good. I love it.
No, I don't know what they would do. I don't know if they would make it like good or bad. That's the thing. It's like when you're handing off Star Wars to something else, it's like another company. It's like with Disney, I originally thought it would be like amazing and this and that, but it's just been so tumultuous for me that I don't even know what Apple would be like. I feel like they're much more of a techie company, so I think it would maybe benefit Star Wars more because they would
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know, they're more science fiction-y themselves.